He secretly gambled $73 billion, and his bosses had no idea. The public believed their savings were protected by the world's most sophisticated security systems. But behind the glass walls, a quiet junior clerk was secretly risking billions on the stock market. While millions of people slept, this single keyboard executed unauthorized trades worth billions of dollars. His secret bets eventually totaled $73 billion, exceeding the economic output of many nations. If his bets failed, the collapse would wipe out the savings of thousands of families. The outside world, the bank appeared to be a fortress of financial stability. The bank's executives celebrated record profits, completely unaware of the unauthorized trades. Then, during a routine check, a security officer noticed one tiny, unusual detail. A low-level clerk had bypassed every multi-million-dollar defense system in the global banking network. In the year 2000, a quiet young man named Jerome walked into a massive global bank. He did not start as a star trader. He began his career in the bank's back office. Back office is the bank's internal police force, designed to double-check every transaction for safety. Jerome spent 5 years learning how these internal alarms worked, finding loopholes the bank ignored. In 2005, he earned a promotion to the active trading desk. He was a junior trader, earning a modest salary while surrounded by colleagues chasing millions. He began trading futures, which are financial contracts used to bet on the future direction of the market. To hide his trades, Jerome created fake transactions to trick the bank's automated security systems. If he made a real bet that the market would rise, he entered a fake bet saying it would fall. Security computers looked at his account and saw zero risk, believing the bets balanced perfectly. But the second bet did not exist. Jerome was flying completely blind with the bank's money. His first secret trades were small, but they quickly began to make a profit. By 2007, his secret trades were generating millions of dollars for the bank. Executives did not ask questions because they loved the unexplained profits he brought in. They believed they had found a financial prodigy who could do no wrong in the market. Jerome worked long hours, staring at the screen while his secret grew larger. His bets grew from millions of dollars to hundreds of millions. Never the security systems flagged his accounts. Jerome used his old back-office skills to forge emails. The systems accepted his explanations, and his trades continued to grow unchecked. At the end of that year, his secret portfolio had grown larger than anyone realized. He had wagered more money than the bank was worth, and the entire system was about to collapse. The global economy was beginning to crack under the weight of the subprime mortgage crisis. Jerome was betting heavily that the European stock markets would rise. Instead, the markets began to plunge, and his secret portfolio started losing millions every single hour. To cover his mounting losses, Jerome placed even larger, more risky bets. His total exposure reached $73 billion in unauthorized market trades. This amount was larger than the entire market value of the bank he worked for. This was not just bank money. It represented the life savings of millions of ordinary depositors. The compliance department generated dozens of automated alerts, but managers repeatedly dismissed them. They chose to believe the illusion of success because Jerome was officially their most profitable trader. Then, an unexpected message from another bank threatened to expose his entire operation. January 2008, a major bank sent an inquiry about a suspicious multi-billion-dollar trade. The external bank had no record of the transaction, exposing a major gap in the books. A senior risk manager investigated the discrepancy and quickly uncovered Jerome's unauthorized trades. On a quiet weekend, senior executives summoned Jerome to the headquarters for an emergency meeting, locked him in a secure room, and demanded to see his actual trading portfolio. As the files opened, the executives stared at the screen in silence. Leadership realized they were staring at $73 billion in unauthorized exposure. If the public found out, a bank run would collapse the institution within 24 hours. The executives made a secret decision to quietly sell off all his unauthorized trades. This secret sell-off would trigger a wave of panic across global markets. Monday, January 21st, 2008, the secret operation officially began. The broader global markets were already fragile due to the unfolding housing crisis. The bank began dumping billions of dollars in stock contracts onto the open market. The sudden, unexplained flood of selling triggered a sell-off among traders worldwide. Major stock indexes across Europe and Asia began to experience historic drops. The American Federal Reserve was forced to slash interest rates in an emergency meeting. No one in the public knew this market crash was caused by a single desk in Paris. When the bank finished selling 3 days later, the damage was done. The forced sale resulted in a loss of $7.2 billion. The bank's chief executive stood before the media to announce the multi-billion-dollar loss. He painted Jerome as a brilliant computer hacker who had managed to deceive the bank alone. Within hours, Jerome's face was broadcast to millions of households worldwide. Investigators raided his apartment, searching through personal files and computer hard drives for evidence. But Jerome did not run. He walked directly into the police station to tell his story. He told detectives that his superiors knew about his massive trading positions all along. Investigators discovered internal messages showing managers joking about the massive size of his bets. As long as he was making millions, the bank actively chose to look the other way. The trial became a legal battle between a powerful global bank and a single employee. The defense team was about to introduce a document that proved the bank knew the truth. The document revealed that the bank had ignored over 70 written warnings about his trading. The public began to see Jerome as a scapegoat for the bank's own systemic failures. In 2010, the court delivered its final verdict. Jerome was found guilty of forgery and sentenced to 5 years in prison. He was also ordered to personally pay back the entire $7.2 billion. The fine was an impossible sum that he could never hope to pay back in his lifetime. Jerome launched a series of appeals, arguing the bank shared equal responsibility for the loss. The legal battle dragged on for years, keeping the bank's internal failures in the spotlight. Years later, an appeals court threw out the $7 billion penalty. Investigators were beginning to uncover an even deeper secret about the bank's books. Independent experts started questioning the exact timing of the bank's massive stock sell-off. Some believed the bank used Jerome's trades to hide their own massive subprime losses. By blaming everything on a rogue trader, they could write off billions without admitting failure. The bank survived. Regular shareholders saw the value of their investments cut in half. Regulatory agencies designed to protect the public had completely failed to notice the danger. Regulators only opened an investigation after the bank lost $5 billion. Jerome served his prison sentence and was eventually released with an electronic tracking device. He became a vocal critic of the global banking system, writing books about corporate greed. Then, a key witness from the original investigation confessed on their deathbed that evidence was hidden. Former prosecutor admitted she was pressured to focus solely on Jerome's personal guilt. The prosecutor was ordered to ignore evidence that senior executives authorized the trades. Had the bank been held fully responsible, it could have faced complete financial collapse. The state had a massive interest in keeping the institution stable to avoid economic panic. While Jerome went to prison, the bank received a multi-billion-dollar government bailout. He recalled the intense isolation of being labeled the most dangerous trader in history. Reporters camped outside his family's modest home, turning his private life into a public spectacle. Meanwhile, the senior executives who oversaw the disaster retired with massive, secure pensions. Despite new regulations, the underlying trading systems remained vulnerable to the same exploits. Today, advanced computer algorithms place millions of trades in the blink of an eye. A single programmer could now trigger a market crash far larger than Jerome's gamble. Despite spending billions on cybersecurity, banks cannot control the actions of their own employees. Every deposit you make relies on a system that can be compromised by one person. The high-pressure culture that drove Jerome to make those bets is still highly active. Young employees are pushed to take large risks to hit their performance targets. When potential bonuses reach millions of dollars, the temptation to break the rules remains. The financial network has not been fixed. It has only become more complex and opaque. A new leak of internal documents revealed how the bank survived the $5 billion loss. The French government granted the bank a tax break to help cover the damage. Ordinary taxpayers funded the rescue of an institution that failed to monitor itself. French citizens protested in the streets when they learned their taxes saved the bank. The government eventually ordered the bank to return a portion of the tax money. The incident remains the largest unauthorized trading event in the history of global finance. Jerome became the face of a financial system out of control. Years of intense legal battles left Jerome looking far older than his age. Today, he lives a quiet life, far away from chaotic trading floors. The man who once controlled $73 billion now lives on a normal monthly salary. His final trade records show how close the global market came to collapsing. If the market dropped slightly more, the bank would have faced immediate default. A default would have frozen credit markets, preventing businesses from paying their everyday workers. A single junior trader's computer held the power to freeze global credit. Today, the bank's headquarters in Paris stands tall, as if the crisis never happened. The bank spent millions on public relations to erase the memory of their massive gamble. But the memory of the $73 billion gamble still lingers in the background. Executives ignored the unauthorized trades because they wanted a share of the massive profits. Internal chat logs show that managers watched his massive risk with total casual indifference. They only panicked when the market turned, transforming their expected profits into billions in losses. The managers trusted to protect client savings were cheering on the rogue trader behind closed doors. $73 billion gamble, hidden behind a wall of fake computer entries and lies. The bank received a massive bailout. Ordinary taxpayers ultimately carried the burden of the risk. The trader, Jerome, walked out of prison, but the financial system he nearly broke remains unchanged. He was a junior clerk who proved that a single keyboard can gamble $73 billion of other people's money.